In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my everyday makeup look, and I'm focusing on the eyes for today's video. So if you want to see how I created this look for slightly hooded eyes, then keep on watching. So hello my spooky bats and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Orphea and I'm a goth girl from Belgium who enjoys to do her makeup every now and then. So this is what I look like with my face freshly washed and hydrated. So I put some hydrating cream on my face, and the makeup I'm going to be doing today is actually one of my basic go-to makeups. The only thing that varies with my makeup looks is the colors that I use. So for today's video, I'm going to do it in a grayscale, so with grays and blacks. But other days I've done this makeup with red tones and black, etc. So it doesn't really matter what colors you want to use. It's just the basic makeup that I like to do. And I know this is not my usual setup. I know it doesn't look as crisp and as pristine, but I just wanted something simple so I would not be held back by the professionalism of the content to actually make it. So before I actually apply anything, the first thing I'm going to do is apply a base. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I've also used Primer Potion in the past. I know there's one from Maybelline. Just use whatever eyeshadow base that you like to use. And just gently rubbing it out with my fingers, so it's nice and in the skin. For today's look, I'm mainly using the Sorceress palette by Jolie Beauty. So my first step is applying the shade Conjure, which is a nude shade, onto my entire lid. And you will see this is a little bit darker than what I usually use as a base shade, but it's in this palette, so it's convenient. So I'm just using this one, and it doesn't really matter for the end look anyways. Up next, I'm taking a fluffy makeup brush from Real Techniques and just swiping that entirely over my lid with the color Hex, just to create the grayscale base that I want to go for. I'm just blending that out. And don't forget to also drag this along your lower lash line just to tie everything together. After that, I'm taking a smaller makeup brush and I'm going to Solstice. This is a darker gray, and I'm just gonna pat that along the outer corner of my eye and just swiping it upwards a little bit so it creates this, not gonna say V shape, but it creates a little bit more elongated look to my eye. And I'm also gonna blend it in and above my crease. And don't forget to also take that outer corner with you and just to drag it along just the outer third of your lower lid and just slightly extending it past where you would usually apply your makeup. And if, like me, you have this kind of harsh line, just take that first nude shade that you used and apply that in circular motions and blend it out. See, that makes it a lot less harsh immediately. Now, usually I would just continue with the black on my eyes, but because I like to use my eyebrows as a reference for where I want to pull my eyeliner, I'm first gonna fill in my eyebrows. And I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil for this. So I'm just quickly dragging that along in my eyebrows to create the shape that I want, and I like when they are slightly pointier. And whenever you're happy with the shape, you can either leave them like this, but I feel like for my face and the amount of makeup I'm gonna be wearing around my eyes, this feels a bit too light. So what I then like to do is take a felt tip liner and just go over this shape. The eyeliner pen I'm currently using is by Lashydoodle or Lashydoodle. They were in the Gothic magazine box included a bunch of times already, so I'm using that because I have it. But I used to use the KVD Beauty Epic Liner or something, and I love that way more, but because I have this, I'm first going to use this up. But do know that there's other products that I prefer, because you can see like in some spots it doesn't take the product because I've already gone over it and it just removes it, and it's a tiny bit annoying. So now that I know my eyebrow shape, I'm gonna just go in with a kohl pencil and line my waterline. And I just went on my eyelid a tiny bit here. It doesn't really matter too much. I'm just gonna go over that with some of my makeup right now, because we are going to darken that area up anyways. I'm going to take just a little bit of the Hex eyeshadow and just go over it a little bit, just so everything looks a little bit nicer. I've also just rubbed here and it's gone under my eye. That is not the look I'm going for today. But I will fix that later. That doesn't really matter too much. And then now I'm taking a angled brush with some black eyeshadow, and I'm just going from that outer corner and slightly swiping it to elongate my eye. So I'm not particularly going upward or anything. I just want to really, like, whenever my eyes are normal, just elongate that shape. I'm gonna slightly also drag that onto my eyelid, but you will see that this is not the way that I used to do my eyeliner. So I used to do my eyeliner really in a bent upward way, like making a curve almost, but now I'm doing this one and I actually quite enjoy it. Now this is not going to be exactly our eyeliner, this is just a basic shape that we will be able to follow, but because I like a little bit more drama in my looks, I'm going to first apply some black in that outer corner as well. So I'm just taking a blender brush, this one is from Real Techniques, it's a fairly pointed blending brush, and I'm just gonna go in that outer corner and just blend this out. So you can immediately tell that this corner is a lot more dark than this one, and that is particularly what I like from my makeup looks. I'm going back and forth into my crease, but I overdid it kind of on this side now. And I do have to make sure that whenever I close my eyes, you can still see, or like have my eyes relaxed, that you can still see the black. So I'm blending it upward just a little bit more than I would usually do, or that you would usually do, because you see and you're like, so much black, but whenever your eyes are relaxed and looking forward, you could barely see it. So it doesn't really matter if you use a bit more. Well, it does matter because you will see it. So now that I'm done with very messily blending everything, I'm going back in with the darker gray Solstice. The black is called Sabbath, by the way. I'm just gonna blend everything a little bit nicer together without actually going onto my lid. You really want to keep that lightest shade very visible onto your eyelid. And should you mess up, just go back in with that lightest shade. If you're using the Jolie Beauty palette, these are really pigmented, and you can just go over the darker shades with some of the lighter shades, and they will just like overrule it. So it's important to just keep going back and forth and blending and mixing the colors together until you're happy with it. I personally like it whenever my crease is dark and my outer corner is dark, so it just pulls the eye shape open. Now, usually whenever I'm doing makeup, I put on music, and that is what motivates me to keep doing my makeup, but today that is not really possible. So what I then like to do is I will just take my kohl pencil a little bit more in that outer corner and just go along the corner of my lashes actually. And then going back in with that pointed brush, we will still see the line that we created earlier, or I hope you can. If not, then you can just recreate it this way. And now you can actually start pulling the makeup to where you want your eyeliner line to be. And this is the point where I'm taking my eyeliner. So we've actually tried doing the line 3 times already just to prepare for it. So first of all, with the black eyeshadow, you could leave it at that if that's the look you want. Then I just did it with the black kohl liner, which creates this kind of shape already that I know I now want to follow. And that's basically how I just step by step build this up. For my eyeliner, I am going to start from my lower lash and then drag along the line that I've created, like so. I'm not sure if you can tell really well. And then I'm going to just connect that to my upper lid. And the thing is, you don't want to go all the way onto your lid the way I used to do before, because it really closes up your eye. So what I'm doing is I'm going up to maximum half of my eye. And I'm saying maximum because sometimes all you need is that outer corner. So right now I'm just continuing here. So following that line that we've created before, I'm just connecting it to my eye. Going about halfway is the maximum, so that's where I'm fading it out into. And then of course you see that your makeup doesn't look closely related. So I'm gonna just quickly fix a few things here and there, so it looks like it's the same thing on both sides. And then what I like to do is I always like to go in with a even lighter shade into my inner eye corner. So for this palette, since I'm doing a white look, it is the color Snow Moon, and Snow Moon is actually a white shade. And as you can see immediately, the difference between this eye and this eye is that this one is just popped open from that white shade. So I'm using a little bit of white on my inner eye corner and I blend it into the gray just to open up my eye a little bit more. Of course, I do like it when my black line on my eye continues, so I'm taking the tiniest makeup brush I have. And I'm just taking the smallest amount of black eyeshadow and smudging that along the top of my lash line without actually doing it with eyeliner. And this creates a softer look than if you were to use eyeliner. Because you did it with eyeshadow, if you don't like it, you can just go over it again with the other eyeshadow shades and it will just blend away. So it's not as present as if you were to do it with eyeliner. I just like having a little bit of shading around my lashes. And also with the white eyeshadow, you could accentuate your eyebrows if you wanted. I'm just quickly doing that. And this is my eyes mostly done. I'm simply going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. And for the bottom lashes, if you want bigger eyes, I would personally recommend only doing the outer half and not all of them. But I like the way all of them looks, so I'm just gently going out of the inner ones as well. And then the outer ones, I'm actually doing a double coat so they stand out even more. So when using my eyelash curler, I actually made 2 little boo-boos here and there. So take a Q-tip, take some makeup remover, shake it up well, apply the tiniest bit on the Q-tip. What I like to do is just dab. So dab and swipe a little bit, and you will see you will have a hole in your makeup, but you can fix that really easily. There we go. And then I actually like to take the not wet side of the Q-tip and just dab off any excess product so it's not wet anymore. And then I'm just taking a little bit, but like the tiniest amount of eyeshadow primer, putting that back on because I feel otherwise my makeup doesn't stick the same way as it did when applying the other parts of it. And then because this is just purely on that inner eye corner, I'm going directly over with my light gray shade. Same goes here. This was just a light gray that kind of got messed up. And then because I feel like I've lost a lot of the white in my inner eye corner, I'm just going back in with a little bit more white. And of course, if you see some spots that you feel need correction or need a little bit extra darkness, you can do that now, but this is like the basic shape and makeup look that I go for. So what I sometimes do is I sometimes have this be red instead of gray, but also with the blended black, and then you blend it a little bit differently just so that the reds still come out. So it's up to you what you do with this techniques and makeup look. I love this makeup because it elongates my eyes, it opens them. I also feel like since I have hooded eyes, it still makes my eye look bigger because it's not completely lined with actual eyeliner, but instead with like a little bit of eyeshadow here. So it creates some darkness near the lashes, and then of course the eyeliner at the end. So now I'm going to quickly go off camera, do the rest of my makeup because it's the same as always, and I will see you at the very end. So after adding my base, contour, highlighter, and of course lipstick, this look is finished, and I do variations on this look all the time. I play around with reds, with purples, etc. But this is the basis of the looks that I nowadays create, and I sometimes still do my eyeliner up to the inner corner of my eye, but I feel like that closes my eyes down quite a bit. So I stopped doing that and only focusing on the other half, and I feel like it really opens up my eye and gives it a little bit of a fresher look. And I always get a bunch of questions on the products that I use. All of the products that I used are in the description box of this video, and the lipstick that I use that I have on right now is this like dusty red-ish shade. I quite like it. I feel it suits my skin tone really well. It is actually by KVD Beauty, so the revamped collections that I have, and this one is called Queen of Poisons, shade number 10. Should you still have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week, and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!